Welcome to episode 18 of Hospitality Reinvented. I am your host, Doug Radkey, an industry-leading bar, restaurant, and hotel coach and consultant that's looking to change the way that this industry views strategy and also overall strategic clarity. Over the past 8 episodes, we've gone deep, really deep, into the 8 playbooks that you need to start, stabilize, scale, or even reinvent your hospitality business. We've covered everything from feasibility studies and concept development to financial strategy and also business planning. If you've been following along, you know that it has been a lot of different content. Now, let's be real. Your team and most investors or stakeholders, they don't want to sift through hundreds of pages of detailed plans. They want clarity, confidence, and a compelling buy-in to your system and your vision. And if they're an investor, they want a reason to invest. So how do you take everything that we've built and translate it into a high impact summary and pitch for both your team and investors? You do it with 2 additional documents. Number 1 is an executive summary. And number 2, it is an investor pitch deck. These 2 pieces serve as your gateway to funding and partnerships and growth and buy-in from your team. They don't replace the playbooks. What they do is they extract the most critical insights and present them in a way that speaks to investors and lenders and stakeholders and your leadership team. And when they have questions, that's when you pull out the full playbooks and back up your summary or your pitch with real data and other action items. So let's dive into why these documents matter, how they differ, and what it takes to craft a winning summary and deck. So let's first look at why an executive summary is another non-negotiable. If you are building a hospitality business, your executive summary should be looked at as your guiding principles. It's your opportunity to showcase that your business, it isn't just a dream. It's a strategic, financially sound venture with real potential. At its core, an executive summary condenses the most vital elements of your business into a very concise, compelling document. This is what your team should have access to. This is what landlords may want to read. This is what potential investors or lenders will skim first before they decide whether they want to dig even deeper. If you have a weak or unclear executive summary, you're likely going to lose trust. But when it's done right, it will make your team and potential investors sit up, take notice, and start asking for more. So what goes into it? Let's break this down for you here. An executive summary begins with proof that your business has demand. Your feasibility study should outline the market realities, including your total addressable market, key demographics, and competitive landscape. Your audience wants to see that you've done your homework, that you are not just guessing, but making decisions backed by research. If you are opening a cocktail bar in a financial district, you need to demonstrate that that area supports your pricing model and your operating hours and the guest experience that you plan to offer. Without this foundation, your concept, it is just a vague idea with no proven viability. So next, your concept needs to be more than just an aesthetic vision. It has to be strategically designed to fill a gap in the market. What makes your concept different? What need does it meet? How does it elevate the guest experience in a way that competitors do not? From the point of view of an investor, they aren't just looking for another bar, restaurant, or hotel. They're looking for a concept with a clear brand, a compelling story, and the ability to scale. So remember this, if you cannot articulate why your concept matters, no one's going to buy into it. Operations and prototype development also play a very key role in this summary as well. Investors, they need to see what you've mapped out and the flow of your space and considered operational efficiencies and optimize the guest experience. They want to know how many, beds or seats you need to hit your revenue goals, how your bar, your kitchen, or other back of house areas, how they will function efficiently. They want to know whether or not your layout maximizes profitability. A well thought out prototype ensures that your business isn't just visually appealing, but that it is designed for success and also scalability. And then there's your branding. It is also very critical. Your executive summary should articulate the essence of your brand, the emotions that you want, guests to feel, and how you plan to differentiate yourself in a crowded market. Remember, your brand isn't just your logo. It's the story that you tell, the promises that you make, and the experience that you are going to deliver. If your brand isn't intentional, it will not resonate. Your support team and your investors, they want to see that you have a clear identity, a strong voice, and a marketing strategy that will generate awareness and also loyalty. Now, what about technology? Your tech stack is another major component. What tools are in place to enhance operations and improve efficiencies? Have you chosen a system that integrates seamlessly with maybe inventory management? Are you leveraging guest data through a CRM system to build long-term relationships and increase repeat business opportunities? Investors want to see that you've embraced innovation and that your tech stack will drive efficiency and not complicate your operations. Now, what about your marketing? Marketing is where many operators they end up falling short, and it should not be an afterthought in your executive summary. A great concept means nothing if no one knows about it. Your summary should highlight your go-to market strategy, your guest awareness campaigns, and your retention strategies. Your team and potential investors will want to know how you plan to build your occupancy levels or to fill seats, how you plan to build brand recognition, and how you plan to create an experience that guests can't stop talking about. Now, finally, there's your financials. Investors don't want to see a random projection. They want to see how you got to those numbers. Your executive summary should present very clear, data-driven financial projections that are realistic, achievable, and again, backed by research. What are your startup or your redevelopment costs? What is your projected revenue? What's the path to profitability and how long will that take? If you can't confidently walk investors through these numbers, they won't trust you to manage their money. And then there is your business plan that ties all of this together. It proves that your business is, again, not just a vision, but a well-structured, highly executable plan. It should outline everything from operational processes and team structure to vendor partnerships and also future scalability. An executive summary that lacks depth in these areas will raise red flags for any serious investor, and it will slow down the buy-in needed from your support team. So that is an executive summary. And for an executive summary, you want to try to limit it to around 20 pages. Now, what about an investor deck? What is the difference between the two? Well, an executive summary is a detailed document meant to provide clarity and insight into your business model. It could be, again, for your team, your landlord, and for investors. Now, an investor deck is a more visual, high-impact pitch designed to capture attention more quickly and is obviously specific to investors. Think of a presentation at a conference. It should be more visual with limited text. Think of it, this way. If you were pitching your concept in an elevator ride with an investor, what would you say? That is what your investor deck needs to capture in a short time. An investor deck really follows 3 golden rules. Well, number 1 is to keep your pitch deck to about 10 to 20 pages maximum. You want to keep it concise and impactful and more visual. And remember that investors are often short on time. The second golden rule is knowing that precision wins. Every single slide should be purposeful and deliver a clear, data-driven insight. And then the third golden rule is that storytelling matters. Investors are also human, and they will buy into people and their vision just as much as the numbers. Make them feel your passion along with them understanding the business model, the investment required, what their return on investment is, and how long it will take for them to see that return. If you build a strong executive summary first, your pitch deck, it'll be so much easier to put together. If you have a 20-page executive summary, take the top 1 to 2 points and use those points for the pitch deck. Your deck should still cover the same pillars, though, as the executive summary. It should still cover conceptual overview, the market opportunity, the business strategy, the revenue and profit potential, the investment required, and obviously the return on investment, and also the team and the expertise behind the brand as well. Now, maybe the best way to summarize the key takeaways here is this. The executive summary is the logic, the investor deck is the emotion. You need both to position yourself to win. The deck should lead to the executive summary, and the executive summary should lead to the playbooks. And then the playbooks should lead to confidence and then execution. Now, I know I mentioned the word investor a lot in this episode, but these documents, specifically the executive summary, is good to have even if you are not seeking investment. It is good for you as an owner operator to summarize your vision and also your strategies. It's good for your support team to quickly get up to speed on your business model. And it is good for even your leadership team and even your service teams to understand what it is that they are working towards. It ends up creating buy-in and it helps articulate strategic clarity, which is what this is all about. So my final thoughts here before I wrap up this episode and this mini series on playbooks that you need to win in this industry. Remember that an executive summary and investor deck aren't just documents. They are your ticket to starting, stabilizing, and scaling your business. If you can't sell your vision, you can't expect anyone to fund or execute your vision. Thanks for listening to Hospitality Reinvented. I have a lot more planned for this podcast, so please make sure you like and subscribe on whatever platform it is that you are watching or listening on. Until next time, stay bold, stay strategic, and let's keep reinventing hospitality together.